And happy Saturday, everybody, and welcome to Woodbine Racing Live as we get set for a jam-packed day of horse racing action. 11 races in store for you, 3 of which are Grade 3 stakes events. I'm Elisa, this is Jeff, and we are off of the grass for today's lone turf race. But it takes 2 horses out, Jeff, but they're youngsters, so for a lot of them, I think we're fine with getting over to the synthetic surface.
Yeah, and you know what? All of them train on it on a fairly regular basis as well. It's not like this is something really brand new for them, and we are supposed to wrap up our turf season tomorrow, but there's a problem. It might be snow covered by the time that race goes because they are calling for some snow in the forecast. I had 2 disturbing things happen to me this morning. The first of which, I went out with like a lighter jacket, and I stood behind my car and I'm like, I better get the winter jacket on. So that's the first thing. And then I'm driving, and you know how they put the brine on the roads when they're expecting the snow?
Yeah, that's never a good sign.
I saw that. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not good at all.
I was starting to panic because my appointment isn't till the 16th to put the snow tires on. You've already got yours on. But then a couple things for me happened. Now, yesterday, and I'm going to bring this up because it's just one of my favorite horses in the whole wide world, of a different breed, so much more, won her 50th preferred race, filly mare preferred race at Mohawk last night. She is so cool. If you don't watch Tbred racing, she's a big reason to turn on the TV.
Yeah, she's awesome. And you know what? I don't know how much longer she's going to go for, like at what point they're going to breed her, but she's been magnificent. And then here, yesterday, kind of one of my highlights was Sheriff Ali, who just is so good right now and was able to pull off the victory. And congratulations goes out to all the connections there with that one. But, you know, yesterday, the track was so much quicker than it was on Thursday. And we'll see if that trend continues or not today. But here's a look at the stats. And the one thing that jumps off the page to me is the average win payout. Because normally, these days, it's like $14 or $10. But it was a rather formful program yesterday.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody at an astronomical price, which is something we're getting used to seeing on either a Thursday or a Friday. It looked like the track was pretty fair, too. Doesn't matter if you were on the inside or the outside. 50% went to the inside horses, 50% of the wins went to the outside horses. And, of course, this morning, training would have taken place. Now, it's not going to be the same as tomorrow. I really feel for our horsemen tomorrow if we do get this snow that they're calling for. But this morning, you know, at least some decent weather for training this morning.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like July, but they'll take it. There's no rain. The worst thing at this time of the year, I think, for everybody is when it rains and you're out there.
It rains or snows. It's not going to be a fun day either for many.
But Ernie says the track wasn't all that quick this morning. Only giving it a 3 out of 5. He thought the outside was better. And the Roger Atfield horse makes it onto the Clocker reports. Back-to-back good races to start off that one's career. Has tailed off a little bit. And we'll see if that guy's able to get back on track.
Yeah, and he mentions that the Grade 3 Autumn could be the best race of the year. I would agree. It's a very good race. There are 3 graded stakes races on today's card, all Grade 3s. We'll start off in race number 7 with the Maple Leaf, and then the 9th race is the Best Arabian. That drew a massive field. And then the Autumn will go as race number 10 on the program. And, you know, a lot of things have been going Jeff's way lately. You know, he's had racing too much. He says, oh, it's my favorite day. I got racing, I've got Leafs, I've got Blue Jays, I got football. Well, guess what? I got the Royal Winter Fair. So I'm really happy about that. For those of you, I'm sure many of you attend the Royal Winter Fair, and if you don't, you have to go and see it. But there's some fun classes, obviously, that we like to watch. The thoroughbred classes come up next week, the line classes, the under saddle classes. There's good old racehorses in there. And today we'll see a lot of roadster classes. Those are great standardbreds that now move on to a different career in the roadster category.
It just goes to show you, I mean, obviously we focus a lot on aftercare with horses, and a lot of horses, you know, they can have great second careers as they go on to do that, and it's amazing what they can do. And I love watching them because they're a majestic animal.
Well, last night they had the indoor eventing, and one of the horses, you know, they read off the pedigrees and say who they are, right? And there were a number of thoroughbreds competing in there, but one was a daughter or a son, can't remember, of Bold Executive.
Well, that's old.
So you know it's going to be older. The horse was 18 years old last night and jumped around like he was 3. So, you know, I mean, it's certainly a lot of fun to watch. So I'll be glued to that. and of course watching the racing here today as well. Let's get started with the handicapping portion of the program. Our first topic comes up a little bit later in the card, so we'll skip the first 4 races and we'll head all the way over to race number 5 to start things off. Now this is a maiden optional 40, 2-year-olds to compete in this event. And you know, we've been watching this Ava's Princess horse, at least that first start for her in the optional 40 was great. She came flying. They tried maiden special for the next couple of races, and you know, those have just been a little too tough, but now she's back here and she's offered up for 40 grand as well. That could be a college fund for little Ava if the horse happens to leave this barn today.
You know, I think the drop will help her out immensely in here. And it's not like she's run terrible and against main special by competition. She's run against Piper's Gift, who's obviously a pretty nice horse, but I think she'll appreciate the drop. Whereas a horse that's been here on a consistent basis has been Daddy's Secret, who did not have that great trip last time out. It's right now in this pocket position. I'm going to take a look at a couple of replays here with Daisuke Fukumoto, and while these moves didn't work out on the 2 replays that we're going to show you, more often than not, these moves do work out for Daisuke, and Daddy's Secret right now is just waiting for somewhere to go. Meanwhile, on the front end is Divinely Inspired, and here's Daisuke in the Buttigieg horse colors, and just can't get anywhere to go. Still can't. It's going to be tight, and now we dive towards the inside. That's kind of a daring move for a young horse like that. So, were we going to win the race? I don't know, but watch how this horse finishes up in here and really kicks in the right. Only runs basically a 16th of a mile.
He only taps the horse once because that's the only opportunity he really had, right?
Exactly.
Is the gallop out strong? Gallop out is strong.
Yeah, so I think Daddy's Secret's going to be obviously one to reckon with in there. Regal Affair, speaking of pedigrees, this is from the line of Mysterious Affair. That's the Mort Hardy line.
You'd have to be here for a long time to know that one. Great horse.
This mare has produced Ruthless Blue, Blue Without You, Winston Blue. All these horses have done some pretty good things. So I'm going to take a bit of a shot on that first-time starter. And obviously we have to toss in Ava's Princess because Ava will be very mad at us if we did not give that one some consideration.
I hope she's here today, and no doubt about it, I bet she will be, because this is her big filly competing here in this spot. So that is race number 5 on the card. Next topic comes up in race number 6. Now, the 6th race on the program, should mention just quickly, we do we have several first-time starters in that 5th race as well. 6th race on the program is a maiden special weight that was originally scheduled to go on the turf. This was our lone turf race of the afternoon. Now it'll go 1 1/16 miles, same distance, but on the main track. And we're okay with this because all these horses would be training on our synthetic surface that'll be competing here in this maiden special weight. Now, there's a horse on paper, there's 2 on paper that do stand out, the 3 and the 4. The 4 is very interesting. You know, she has raced only on the grass. She's by Nixco, who's, you know, phenomenal so far. She has a career debut on a yielding turf course, but she comes back in the Grade 1 Natalma behind a horse who will likely be a Sovereign Award winner or contender, obviously, that being Corsia Valace, and she finishes 3rd, but she's narrowly beaten by her, which is a massive reference.
Right, and then last time she runs, she goes off at 1-2 on that day, and I thought she was a bit of a disappointment, but I didn't love the trip that she got. She was kind of in between horses down the backstretch. She didn't look all that comfortable. Then she swings towards the outside and finishes up full of run. La Pen de Plage is able to finish off in the 2nd place position on that day, put away another speedster. I think it's between those 2 horses, and it's all about who takes the synthetic. But I was really, really disappointed that the 4 didn't run better last time out. I'm going to give that one a bit of a shot. And I'll tell you who the wild card in here is. It's Scotch Mist. You know, I think she's getting better and better, and the longer the better, I think, for her. And this barn did have a win yesterday on the program. So hopefully they can kind of keep that roll going. And I've gone 4-3-7. I did not change any of my picks with the surface
I stuck with the same as you. 4-3-7 is exactly my top 3 in here. The only difference is you tossed in the 6 for the 3rd spot. That's the Josie Carroll runner. 'Tis Practical for Chiefswood. I tossed in the 2 Pina Colada because she also raced in the Natalma. Now that was a tough spot for her, but she does get Raffi. And yesterday, I think I've coined a new term now. It's called the Raffi effect. And you have to watch for that when Raffi gets on horses for the very first time.
Well, look how good Dissectologist is all of a sudden.
All
Has
of a
won
sudden.
back-to-back races. He won the finale yesterday with the Drexler horse. And between Raffi and Pietro, they won 5 of the 8 races yesterday.
Well, that's the way it's been going lately. If it's not Fraser, it's Raffi. If it's not Raffi, It's Pietro, yeah. So we'll be seeing who has the hot hand on today's program. Next topic comes up in race number 7, and it is the Maple Leaf. Now, of course, Maple Leaf Forever is it was the Canadian anthem, essentially, until we switched it over to O Canada. But the Maple Leaf Forever, everybody that is a true blue Canadian, Canuck, knows that song. 1.25 miles, the distance of this event, and it goes for 150 grand. Now, interesting race here. We get the return of Sahin Savachi. He just can't get away from this place. You know, he came here last week after having a really good day at the New York meet with like 3 winners, and they were all big prices. He came here for Miguel Clement, and he won the stake race. Easy, nice win. And he's got horses to ride in stakes today as well. He's going to ride for Flying in this race for Graham Motion. A horse that we know, we've seen her here before. She was 3rd in the Matron and behind Caitlin Her Greatness. And she'll be a serious contender, I think, in this spot. Emma Wilson's got a really live mount, I think, too, in this stake with Long Ago.
Yeah, Bill Morey's going to send out this one. So has been a well-traveled individual. They claimed the horse for big bucks, $80,000. And she ran well in the Glen Falls. And the Flower Bowl, she only lost by 4 lengths. And last time out, she lost to a Samson-bred horse named Mission of Joy down at Santa Anita in the Rodeo Drive. So I think this is an easier spot. I'm not too worried about the distance with this one either. You've got Blitz, who should be a pace factor, and I'm going to go towards Hurricane Claire, where I think should be a bit of a pace factor as well in here. Now, Hurricane Claire, the Dance Smartly, that didn't go all that well, but 2 starts ago, she gave Ontario, in the Ontario Matron, she gave Caitlin Her Greatness a bit of a run for her money. I don't mind your selection for Flying when finishing in the 2nd place position. For Flying, didn't have a great trip last time out, but didn't really cost her the victory. Now, Robert, he was with us yesterday filling in your shoes, which is very difficult to do. And he said his strategy when playing these races today is he wants to put a price horse on top and then maybe put somebody a little bit more kind of formful in the 2nd place position. He's going to go towards Sultana. Now, she's obviously going to have to move up dramatically to win this race in here. But I don't think this is the toughest of Maple Leafs that we've seen.
No, I don't think so either.
So full marks for going in the race as far as I'm concerned. And Sultana might be able to pull off the victory.
Okay, so it's a field of 7 for this year's Maple Leaf. And this is how we're going to kick off a number of Grade 3 stakes events on the afternoon's program. They're in race number 7. 7th race also kicks off the late pick 5. And that late pick 5 does include all 3 of those stakes races. Our next topic is in race number 8. This is the 25 non-2 going 7/8 of a mile. And the category or the topic is late surge. Now, I have some questions in this race as well. You know, we have a lot of horses that are taking the drop. That's normal for this time of the season. Lady Izzy drops to 25. Skylight Caper drops to 25. And she's very... you know, she has every right to wake up here, I think, Skylight Caper. They'll switch over to Rafael Hernandez to ride that one. Who's the horse that you want us to take a look at?
So it's Him to Her, who I didn't think had a great trip either last time, but it's a very similar replay to what we just saw moments ago. Right now, last on the screen is Him to Her, and the eventual winner of the race is in 2nd and just gets the jump on us, as far as I'm concerned. And this was at 7. Today's distance is going to be 7/8 of a mile as well. But and I do like how Dice K rides these horses too. He likes this inside run, and more often than not, that's going to be a very effective way to go. But now he's got a little bit of a jackpot to try to overcome, because he's trying to figure out, can I fly up the rail in here? And guess what? We have to wait. Now we get a chance. And just watch how this horse finishes up in here. The winner just gets a jump on us. But watch this horse fly late.
One tap for that one, too.
Yeah, and just didn't quite work out trip-wise. So hopefully we get a bit more of a bit more racing luck more than anything when it comes to this event. I don't think this is all that salty of a race for 25 non-2 in here. We've got a lot of different riders riding on the program today. For example, the rider of the 7, I'm not all that familiar with. We've got a rider coming to us from out west who is going to be racing here at Woodbine as well. The one not about your pick, Skylight Caper, the drop yesterday worked to perfection with Hoodless. And they're going to do exactly the same thing here with this one. Same ownership group as well.
Well, I just kind of thought, obviously they had some pretty good hopes for her as a 2-year-old, and they just haven't really panned out. And you know, it is fresh legs. We have talked about that too. It's only her second start of the season. She likely maybe even needed that first start, so she might get a little bit better here today. But you're right about the riders. There's a few that we're not very familiar with, including the rider of Dixie Is a Breeze, who it looks like hasn't ridden at all this season.
Yeah, but it's not an apprentice, so has obviously ridden somewhere. But Roy Agostino is going to send out this one. He's been very, very active over the last, I would say, 5 or 6 racing days.
Since Fort Erie ended. You know, I think he's one of the barns that's actually moved up here to Woodbine for the back half of the campaign. Next race we go to is the 9th, and this is the Bessarabian, a Grade 3 going 7/8 of a mile. There was a massive amount of gals entered into this race. I mean, we have a huge group that included 2 also eligibles. Now, one of the alsos will draw in. That's Dolce Suppresso, the 15. That horse will draw in, as the 14 and 16 are both Stewart scratches from this race. Now, you know, you start looking at this race, and for me, I found it like putting a puzzle together, because I get that Caitlin, her greatness, is a top selection for a lot of people in here, but you and I have seen Caitlin for quite some time now, and you know, we're used to seeing her obviously with Raffi. And today what's interesting is that Emma Wilson's going to ride this horse. Now, I don't see Emma ride a ton for Kevin, but you know, she'll get the odd one here and there. But this is a very interesting pairing, 2 queens being put together, Caitlin, her greatness, and Emma Wilson, who's on her return from her most recent injury. But I also don't know about her at 7/8 of a mile.
She has sprinted for a while.
We have interviewed Kevin after these races so many times, and it always comes up 2 turns. She wants 2 turns, right? And now we're only going to have 1, and at a distance she hasn't gone in a while.
Well, just reading the article that Ron did talking to Kevin, and I just think that at this stage, Kevin thinks that she might be better going 7 as opposed to 10. Now, I realize she won the plate going 10 furlongs, but that's against Canadian breds, right? This is obviously a bit of a tougher group of horses in here. And Ron brought up this is going to be her final local start. She might race at Turfway one more time and then go off to the breeding shed. But I said this on the radio show that I did this morning. The only thing with Caitlin, her greatness, because she's a reputation horse, everybody knows her, I tend to find she gets overbet. So you just have to watch the tote board. If you like her, just make sure you get some bang for your buck. Now, did Raffi have choices in this race? Possibly. Now, the 2 Clement horses, they draw really nicely here in this spot. They get the 1 and 2 hole. And the Rays, last time that she ran, we'll take a look at this replay. The inside was so good. And, you know, rarely does this happen to me. But down the backside, I knew I had picked a winner. Just the way that she was traveling and the fact that the rail was so good on this day. And here she is right now. We're going to highlight her here in this spot. So she wins the race. Galina Rush, who obviously is a very nice horse, finishes in 2nd. And Girl of My Dream finishes in the 3rd place position. The only question mark we had with this horse last time was, could she cut back effectively in distance? And she did beautifully. If anything, today the 7/8 is only going to help her here in this spot. And right now, here comes the split. And I will say this about Raffi. So we've watched him for years and years and years and years. I think he is like razor sharp right now. Really, really good and riding very well and riding a lot of smart races. And he just was able to benefit from a beautiful trip on this day and able to pull off the win. I think the only concern I have with a bunch of horses, Lisa, is traffic trouble in here. There being so many horses in this field. And that's obviously cause for concern. But you like the Clement Exacta, and I don't blame you.
Well, I mean, look, I think Lorraine gets better on Lasix. That's number 1. And now she is on it for the 2nd consecutive time. I think when we saw Love Severe come here back on June the 21st, we saw the beginnings of a really nice horse when she won the Alley Wow, and she comes out of a Grade 3 stakes event down in New York too, and that's where we find Sahin Savachi. Now we have some picks again from Robert Geller. He's got Tricky Temper, the 4-horse in this race. This is another shipper. Comes in for the Jeremiah Englehart outfit and was last seen at Presque Isle Downs in a Grade 2 race where she was 3rd to Galina Rush, and we know Galina Rush around these parts. And then Love Surveyor, of course, is the other one that he points out. I don't know about getting 6 to 1. On this horse or even the other Clement horse, but I do like the Clement Exactor. Now, we did have a chance, I'm not sure who went out and talked to Kevin, but we did have a chance to catch up with Kevin Attard because, you know, we did want to ask him about that cutback in distance for Caitlin, her greatness, and this is what he had to say. It's coming.
Phil.
Okay.
What else is new? Stormcast, the defending champion, is in this field too. Like, she might be a real speed factor in here, and Patrick rides. Now, I don't know if she's as good as she was last year, but speed, when it starts to get dark like it will by the time this race goes, I kind of wanted to pick that horse on top, but I elected not to.
All right, clip is ready to roll. Let's hear from Kevin.
You know, I mean, she's been pretty solid. It's been a good season for her. Started the year off with a big, strong performance. And, you know, we've done a little bit of experimenting. I think we've learned a little bit with her. And, you know, she's seems to be back on form now. You know, coming off of her last 2 races, I think, have been very solid outings. So, you know, we're experimenting now, kind of cutting back to 7 furlongs in the Best Arabian. You know what I mean? I've been on record saying she's a 2-turn horse. So this is going to be a little bit different. I mean, we've cranked her up, I think, to try to keep her a little bit sharper. And, you know, hopefully she's up to the challenge.
Right on. I guess, you know, she was nominated for the Maple Leaf Mile and a Quarter, perhaps a bit too long for her. You know, was that part of the thinking here?
Yes, I think so. You know, I mean, you look back, obviously she won the King's Plate at 10 furlongs. We came back and ran her in the Maple Leaf last season. And
ran a mile and a half, right?
Well, the mile and a quarter at the Maple Leaf distance, 10 furlongs. Right. And she, you know, she made the front, got kind of caught late. And I just think, you know, she's not at her best going that far.
Indeed. Well, okay, so great to see Emma back in action again. She gets her first mount on the KP Champ here. So, you know, your thoughts on Emma getting the ride here?
Yeah, listen, what can you say? Winningest female rider in racing, right? Obviously, Emma's had a bit of a tough go recently, and, you know, looking to kind of put her back on the map here, and I think she's going to fit the filly really well.
Very interesting thoughts, and I was right. I was thinking to myself, when I saw Caitlin in the race, I'm like, I'm sure Kevin always says to me, she's a 2-turn horse, she's a 2. And I like that he said, look, I've gone on camera basically saying that and quoted that. But I like the fact that he says we're keying her up here today. So she might come over looking like she's a firecracker.
Yeah, she might be sharp. She might be sharp. I did look at her lifetime PP. She did win at a mile on the Dirt Aqueduct, which is
before
a
she came to us.
Right. So we know that she can win going 1 turn. Now that was against Maidens, but still. That'd be a tough to call, though, the Maple Leaf for that race, too. And then especially when the overnight comes out, there's 14 horses.
I know.
Plus 2 AEs in the Best Arabian.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so that's that one. Then, of course, race number 10, which Ernie Perry says is the best race of the year. The Grade 3 Autumn, going 1 mile and an 1/8. Now, we Stewart Scratch the 6, which is a shame. I was kind of wanting to see that one. I get that he's a 3-year-old here, so there's more dances for him to dance. And Wyoming Bill is a scratch from this race as well. But lots of storylines in here too, Jeff. You got Swift Delivery, who's coming back here to Woodbine after going to Kentucky Downs. Now look, we've heard this time and time again. Horses either like Kentucky Downs or they don't. And I would say he was not a fan. And I actually too know, because he had raced here in the Toronto Cup. Remember that? And everybody was here to watch him, thinking Taylor Swift was going to be here as well. And I don't think turf is necessarily his preferred surface. I think he prefers the synthetic track. So he gets back to his home base here today. He's a major player. Paramount Prince comes in off of a big win. He could be, you know, sitting on something good. Dresden Rowe, we've been waiting for him all year long. He had no excuse there in the last race. I mean, there's a number of ways you could go. Cameo Performance is an interesting horse coming in from Keeneland. Jokestar comes back here to Toronto after a bullet move in 47-3. Cool Kisses here after a win in the Durham Cup. I mean, this is a very good race.
And the pace of this race is going to be interesting because you got Fantastic again, who likes to be forwardly placed. And I personally think that Paramount Prince at this stage of the career is a kind of neat elite type of horse. You know, that's just the way it sort of is right now. And can he get to the front over Fantastic again? Like, how fast are they going to go in here? And I think you're bang on about Swift Delivery. And listen, they've experimented, but it hasn't quite panned out, but there's nothing wrong. I think he'll be a beautiful Woodbine horse for next season. I would bring him up here and just run in all the older horse races going around 2 turns on the main track. And he'll make a pile of money doing that. And he's obviously a very effective off-the-pace type of rallier. Now, Robert is going to go price shopping here with Cameo Performance. Now, when the Cameo Performance ran here as a young horse in the Marine, it was a very good race when finishing second and against Essex Serpent. Now, last time out and against none too other than, it was a decent rally when finishing the second place position. They've kind of been shopping around for spots. Now, he is in the November sale, racing age sale, coming up in the not too distant future. So, you know, a big run here would help out his sales price. And Brendan Walsh, I just love playing Brendan Walsh horses.
Yeah, I got the horse in my ticket here. That being Cameo Performance, but I think we've all gone to Swift Delivery, so a lot of pressure.
But you know what? The biggest question mark in the race is the status of Dresden Row.
That too. I mean,
he laid a bit of an egg.
He did, but the race before that made us think, there's our old Dresden Row again.
And remember how good he looked in the paddock
I do
the last time he ran?
Calm. Well, that was the other thing. He was a little calmer than normal. Maybe we need to see him a little worked up. That could be his tell. All right, so that is the 10th race. That gets us through the 3 stakes events on the afternoon, and then the 11th race is where we play the Jackpot High 5. And that pool is really growing. It's almost $90,000, $89,460. You know, Home for a Rest is in this spot for Tiller, and the reason that I think a lot of us are going to gravitate towards Home for a Rest is simply because she was second behind her old stablemate, who's now her reunited stablemate again, that being Maximum 50. She's been a monster this season.
Yeah, she has. And I just love the consistency that this horse has brought. And you know what? It's so funny how this game can work too, because here's a horse that was in for $15,000 last year, and now is very competitive in the first level allowance category. And you see that, like the ebbs and flows. Horses will get good for a bit, and they tail off for a bit, and they get good for a bit. And from one year to the next, it can be totally different.
That's true.
So Home for a Rest is great. And again, Frank DiGiulio using his music knowledge for a wonderful name, and all of us are going in that one's direction, not surprisingly. 454 is one that was good to you earlier on this season. Pretty consistent horse, right?
Pretty consistent again. That's why I tossed the horse in for second. You've got him in for second as well. I went to the 10, Salt. I think this has been a head scratcher type of horse this season. You know, we saw her here last year when she broke her maiden, and I think on that day we thought, wow, we could be seeing any type of filly. But that was actually the last time that she was in the winner's circle.
I think she's been a bit of a disappointment myself. And there's a lot of pace in here. You got Give Me the Boots, you got Kikitsa that's probably going to show a little bit of early foot in here. Maybe Miramichi might show a little bit of pace in here. There's a lot of pace in there to wrap up the program. Lovely, lovely card for today, for Saturday.
Very good, yeah. And we'll start it off in the sunshine, and we'll finish it off likely under the lights.
Yes, we will.
And then tonight we go home and we all have to find our snow shovels. Last race goes up.
I don't even know where my snow brush is. I have to find that.
Mine's in the car. I do know that. 6:16 is when the last race goes. No, but it will definitely be dark. Alrighty, we are going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll take a look at the clocker horses and some of our plays of the day.
Love horse racing? HPIBet.com is Canada's leader in online horse betting. Access thousands of live races from hundreds of tracks worldwide instantly. Enjoy the most advanced betting tools like AI Smart Picks and exclusive cashback rewards you won't get anywhere else. Join today and get up to $100 in free bets. Get the ultimate horse betting experience with HPIBet.com.
A perfect day for horse racing.
This is the biggest race in the world. Pinch me, I think I'm dreaming.
And they're into the thread. Two of the great racehorses in the world. Giant Killer, by name and by nature. A race for the ages.
Ignite World Racing presents Bahrain's Showpiece Horse Race. Catch it on Sportsnet 1.
Well, as promised, it's time for our plays of the day. And, well, I think we both had a pretty good day yesterday with our plays. They paid some good money. What do you got for today?
So my debut threat's going to be Regal Affair, who I'm happy has made it onto the clock report as well. I like a lot of fours today, Lisa. My watch list is going to be him to her. My bounce back threat off that bad race last time out of Swift Delivery. And I will be going home for a rest after race number 11, and so will home for a rest, hopefully after winning race number 11.
Yeah, for a lot of these horses on today's card, this is likely their last start of the 2025 campaign. I went to this, I don't even know, I can't remember how to say this horse's name.
La Place.
In race number 6, and I get it that race is now on the main track, but I still feel fine. For Flying is my price play. I think Ernie made that a good price in one of our stakes events, Skylight Caper. That's a family exacta. That's an Attard family exacta that I like there, and I got a key for all in the last race with home for a rest, same as you. Key for your jackpot high 5, key for your late rolling pick, your late pick 3, all that jazz, whatever you want to play. Awesome Beat is a top selection from Doug McPherson at 9-5. Swift Delivery for Ron Gierkink at 3-1. And Dresden Rowe is a top selection. Boy, our Woodbine TV producer, he is sticking around with good old Dresden Rowe to try and get him into the winner's circle here today. We have some clocker horses to pass along your way as well. 2 clocker horses, and one of them is a horse that you picked as well, that being Regal Affair.
Yeah, so I'm happy it's made onto the clock report. This is a barn that you don't really typically think of with first-time starters, but hopefully, we're going to be able to get a bit of a number with this one. I don't even know if Emma's worked the horse, so I have no idea, but Steve Attard will send out that one. And I'm glad that Jokestar's back because I know what the thinking was with the All-Wellings. The horse was really good on dirt, and they were able to take advantage of a lot of nice dirt races. But the money is better here, so they want to take a shot here, and they're going to give another shot when it comes to race on synthetic as well. And he's going to be a big number in that race. And I would not be surprised if he ran better than people think.
All right, so we will be watching for those 2 horses that have been provided by Ernie. Now, we always like to show some stats, and this is one we haven't shown you yet this season. So this is trainers and 2-year-olds. So from the beginning of the year till now, who have been our top 2-year-old conditioners? Mark Cassey is always going to be there. He is loaded for bear with really nicely bred 2-year-olds. He's had 17 wins. Look at his babies, though. They've been in the money 51% at the time with a pretty good ROI.
Positive ROI.
For Cassey.
Yeah.
Whereas Kevin, his ROI is only 0.96.
Yeah.
Now, he's had 8, and he has sent out some really nice babies yet again this season. Same can be said for Josie. Sid makes the list, though, with 3 wins.
So right there we have 3 Hall of Famers and a future Hall of Famer.
Yep, and 2 Attards.
That's right. That's right. So, you look at that, and it's amazing that you can give me a positive ROI with Josie, because I find her horses
get
bet big time. But she's brought in some nice 2-year-olds, and they're always so much fun to me.
I know. And, we have a lot of schoolers out there in the paddock today, so that means we have more babies that'll be coming up.
Thursday night, it's a 2-year-old race right off the bat.
First race on the program, 2-year-olds. To kick off the day. So here we go, 11 races in store for you this afternoon, 3 Grade 3 stakes races with 19 minutes on the clock.